This is Not a Player Pod, a sports podcast by fans and for fans covering everything from the hardwood to the gridiron. So without further ado, let's send it off to the stars of the show, Lewis, Max, Jack, and John, because ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is nap time.
What's going on, people? This is Not a Player Podcast. It is week 3 of the NFL season. We're back. Week 2 is in the books. We're a few days fresh off of the Vikings losing to the Atlanta Falcons. JJ McCarthy is obviously out. We might touch on that at the way end of this podcast. But fellas, how are we doing? 2 weeks are in the books. Week 3 is upon us. Some sneaky games on this slate, and I'm excited to talk about it. How are we doing?
Max, you go ahead.
Been better. Kind of a tough way to wrap up Sunday with that Vikings game. But all in all, I had a pretty good week as far as my picks go. And can't complain too much. You, Lewis?
Yeah, I'd like to be the first on this podcast to congratulate Max on a 5-0 week. Always impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Always impressive. But we're not going to talk about my record. It was 1-4. I will be better. That is my promise to all of you. John went 3-2. So just since we're doing this now, I am now 4-6, and John and Max are tied at 7-3. So
wow.
Everyone within striking distance.
Connect.
It's only week 2.
Can I just say shout out to friends of the pod, Patrick Swanson and Will Berger, for riding my picks last week. Loyal commenters on the Instagram. Not sure how much they actually listen, but definitely comment, which is nice.
Yeah,
which is all
nice
that matters.
Getting some engagement. So we're trending up. I'm looking at the views every week. We are getting more and more views every week, which is fun. So
is that right? Is that right, Lewis?
That is right.
Still have our Japanese presence as well.
Yeah, still have our Japanese presence as well.
Global. We're going global, worldwide.
We are. This is going to be a fun week. I think there's going to be some upsets this week. That week 3 is kind of the time where it's like, all right, week 1 and week 2 might have had some fluky things. Teams aren't going to lose every single game. So like this is now where it's like, all right, teams aren't going to go 0-17. There might be some teams that are bad that are going to beat some good teams this week. Some injuries are piling up, and I just think week 2 is a big find out week. See who's for real.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think week 1 is nobody knows who anybody is. Week 2 is kind of like, are you going to repeat what you just did? And then week 3, you there's more of a resume to know what teams actually are. I'd say week 4, you really know what teams are. Unless there's injury stuff, like the Vikings are a team, for example, that we still don't really know what they are this year. But yeah, so do we want to get into some picks for this week? Week 3,
yeah,
Lewis, you've got the picks.
Yep, we'll go game by game first. So we're going to start off with the first marquee matchup of the week is the Los Angeles Rams are plus 3-point underdogs at the Philadelphia Eagles. The last 2 times these teams met, I believe the Eagles won both of those contests. Most recently in the playoffs in the snow, where Jalen Carter kind of took over that game, strip sacked Stafford and kind of iced it. No pun intended there. However, the previous, I think like 6 meetings before them, the Rams have kind of owned the Eagles. And I think that this is a week where the Rams can win against the Eagles early in the season. And you know what, John? I don't want the points. I don't need that plus 3. This is an outright winner. I will take the plus 3 because I'm currently 4-6, so we kind of need those points. But
well, hold on. You can't say that and then not want them. You're either one way or the other. So you do want the point.
All right, I want the points, but I don't really want the points.
Okay.
If we're going to
I love it.
I don't want the points. I think that this can be an outright winner. The Rams are always pretty good early in the season. Stafford seems healthy. Their defense looks good. I don't know if this Eagles offense can keep up with the Rams offense at the moment. I'm not saying that it will be different at the end of the year, but I just think for right now, this Rams team might be a little firing on all cylinders. And the Eagles, they've played a couple hard games back-to-back, and they might be due for a little tough matchup here against the Rams. Your thoughts?
I'll go, and I'm going to actually disagree with you. I'm going to take the Eagles. They are at home. I know that there's some things that went on in that game in the playoffs last year between these two teams, and it was a close game. And you mentioned the thing I'll disagree with is you mentioned that the Rams offense or that the Eagles offense won't be able to keep up with the Rams. I actually disagree. I think that the Eagles are going to need to be pulled into a game where they need to score points. I do think this will be a higher scoring game. And kind of like week one against the Cowboys, like the Eagles just kind of do what they need to do to win the game. Whether it's score however many points they did against the Chiefs last week, which was an ugly game, or they could score 35, I think, out of nowhere whenever they need to. And so I'm going to take the Eagles at home. I don't think 3 is that many points. If it was like, I don't know, 6, then I would take the Rams for sure. But I think 3, they'll win by more than a field goal. Max, what say you?
Um, John, I completely agree. It's hard to bet against the Eagles at home. And I just think the Rams are coming off that Titans game that is not an impressive team at all. I know they put up a lot of points, but at some point this season, Jalen Hurts is going to find the passing game. He's going to find A.J. Brown. So I think maybe this is the week, but if not, they can run all over. So I'll take -3 as well at home.
Okay. We'll move on to Denver +3 at the Los Angeles Chargers. Denver has not looked very good in the last couple weeks. The Chargers have looked very good in the last couple weeks. Max, why don't we start with you on this one?
Yeah, like you guys know, the Denver Broncos are my fraud team of the year. Everyone's so high on them. I'm sticking with that trend, and I'm going to be taking the Chargers, who look to actually have a very good passing game. Once they find that run game with the rookie, I think they could be a well-oiled machine. So I'll take them. I know it's not much of a home field advantage, but I'm just not. It's more of a bet against Denver than anything.
I am going to go the opposite way. I'm trying to do less of this year in that, there's one team that's clearly looked bad and there's one team that's clearly looked good. You should just go with the team that's clearly looked good, and they're at home. And Vegas has them favored clearly. But I'm going to go with the Broncos. I think at some point, like the Broncos were good last year, and they didn't just suddenly become bad. I do think Sean Payton's a good coach. I think Bo Nix, you could call it a sophomore slump, but he still has talent. And this is more of a spot play. I think over the long haul of the season, I would still think the Chargers are going to have a better record and all that. But in this game only, I like the Broncos and the point.
I agree with points made by both of you. Is this an early matchup of like division winner possibly? Because like this Chiefs team might not be for real. This could be a Chargers Denver matchup that could mean a lot for the division come late December. Saying that, I agree with John a lot that the Chargers have looked fantastic. Denver's looked mediocre. But did anyone actually watch the second half of that Chargers game against Las Vegas late on a Monday night? Weird schedule that is. Max was complaining about it. I was complaining about it. I actually went to bed, hand up, before the second half of that game.
I did watch.
And I watched in the morning. So we're at that stage. But Herbert did not look very good in that second half. He was missing some guys. They were calling some weird plays. I'm going to take Denver here, and I do not want the points. This is another one where
I think you found your underdog parlay.
I think that we found an underdog parlay here. Denver +3. I think that this is a Sean Payton out-coaching John Harbaugh game, even though I really like John Harbaugh more than Sean Payton, but I just think that yes, excuse me, Jim. Good correction there.
Big difference.
There is a big difference. One actually knows how to run the clock late in the fourth quarter, that being Jim, and the other, John, tends to pee down his leg.
He's a domestic terrorist.
Can I say one thing about Justin Herbert? I feel like there's no quarterback in the league that has a bigger disparity between, like, in a single game, he can look so good and make the best throws, and then 20 minutes later, just look horrible. And make some idiotic decision. Yes.
And I think that this Denver secondary and pass rush will be able to get to him. And I think that this is going to be the hardest game that he's played by far. He's played a mediocre Chiefs team, and a mediocre Las Vegas team. So I think he's going to be playing against a big boy defense. It's more just can Bo Nix keep up is the main question.
I should know, but I know Surtain got hurt last week, or maybe that was 2 weeks ago. I can't even remember. Did he play? Is he playing?
I
I
don't
should
know.
know this.
I don't either.
I mean, it would make a difference in this game, especially against Herbert. I think he would love to throw a pass to Surtain at some point in the game. But yeah, who knows?
And kind of not a player pod take here. Justin Herbert is kind of a weird guy. I always thought he was just quiet, but I mentioned his presser after week 1, and then he's flipping the media off going into last game.
Yeah, kind of a
subtly.
weird move.
Just kind of a weird move. Find it
Yeah.
a little bit strange this year, but good points about Denver. But similar to last year, it took them a while to get into it. Like it could be very similar to their season last year. It's just like starting off really slow. What was that stat, Lewis, that you said Bo Nix didn't throw a touchdown pass till week? What was
Oh
it?
yeah, to like week
Last year?
4 last year or something.
Yeah.
He also did play through injury last week. He's playing to play again, so it must not
Okay.
be too bad.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, and everyone's saying like freaking out about JJ McCarthy. Remember how good everyone thought Bo Nix was at the end of the year? He was like 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions his first like 3 games in the NFL. So let's pump the brakes. This is a long-term process. This isn't a week-to-week type of thing, but we will get to that later. For now, let's move on to the Kansas City Chiefs are -6, and that is 6-point favorites at the New York Giants, and that is on Sunday Night Football with Mike and Chris on the call, which is always fun listening to those two. John, why don't
Here's
you
a
start
guy. It was Chiefs at Giants, right? Chiefs
this one? Chiefs
minus
at
6.
Giants.
Okay. This is a spot where I think me in the past again would always take the Giants. And it's more of like a rather see the Giants win. It's more of a heart play. But I'm going to be smart here. I think the Chiefs will cover this. And I think the Giants last week are going to make a lot of people think they're better than they are, especially Russell Wilson. That was a fluke. The Cowboys defense stinks. Chris Jones wasn't on the opposing side. That dude's a menace. And Mahomes will probably look a little better against this Giants defense that is absolutely garbage. So I'm going to take the Chiefs in the 6 points.
Max?
Man, tough spot. I agree with John about people being high on the Giants, but I think this line already moved up. I think it opened at 5.5. I mean, it's half a point, but moved to 6. I'm going to take the Giants points. Take them at home. We'll see what happens. I do not believe in
Russ
this Chiefs
cook.
team. And the Chiefs are still the same old Chiefs. Even if they win, they're not going to cover the spread. Ever. They'll win by 3.
Yeah, but kind of you'd think like in the past when people say that, those were always the Chiefs -8, Chiefs -9, Chiefs -10. This is only 6. Like they just win by 1 touchdown, which is so doable against this Giants team.
Very doable. Same old Chiefs, but new Chiefs, so smaller spread, still not covering them.
Okay, I think that people here are forgetting about Kayvon Thibodeau. They're forgetting about Dexter Lawrence. They're forgetting about Abdul Carter. But that being said, this Chiefs team is 0-2. It is desperate time right now. Mahomes will probably find his magic. I don't really know. Because Mahomes, in spots like this, he's never really lost 3 games in a row. But is this going to be like a kind of turn of the page? I think that this will be a New York Giants dominant victory.
What?
This underdog parlay is getting huge.
I don't want the points.
Again? That is one of the boldest calls I've ever heard.
Again, I think this is Sunday Night Football, and this is going to be the top story on Monday, being are the Chiefs completely dead? I don't think their offensive line can hold up to the Giants' defensive line. I don't think that their weapons are good enough to keep up with Russie and Malik Neighbors throwing the deep ball. I think the Giants have a better offense, and I think the Giants can put together an okay defense at this point. I will be trusting Russell Wilson and the passing game. And I think they can hit a couple shots. And I just don't know if this Kansas City dink and dunk team can score more than 21 points. And I think the Giants are able to put up that amount of points. I also think that there's going to be a couple turnovers forced against Patrick Mahomes from this elite defensive line that they have. So,
I just wanted to let it be known that Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter, and Dexter Lawrence did play against the Cowboys last week and allowed 40 points in doing so. Just wanted you to know that.
yeah, Cowboys have a
Cowboys are
better
a high
offensive
power
line.
offense. They're a
40
better offense.
points is a lot.
Cowboys have one of the best offenses in the league. We've talked about this a lot. So the Chiefs have a bang up. I think that their left tackle's out. The rest of their offensive line kind of stinks. Worthy most likely won't play. Rashee Rice won't play, even though his teammates are wearing like free number 4 shirts, which is just bizarre because he clearly seems like not a good person. So
Travis Kelce will play. Also hurts.
Travis Kelce will play, which might be good for the Giants because he's just ridiculous. He'll catch a pass for like 15 yards and look like he just won the Super Bowl out there, and then end up dropping an easy touchdown for an interception.
I have respect for both of your guys' ball knowledge, football knowledge. And a lot of times I listen to you guys give these explanations for why you pick teams. In this scenario, it has made me want the Chiefs, or like the Chiefs, so much more. I think the Chiefs might win by double digits. And I know they don't like doing that. They might do it in this scenario.
All right, but can't you see just like the story next Monday morning being like, are the Chiefs like completely dead? I think
I could also see
this might be an end of an era. Getting beat by Russie.
No, I can't see that because they're just not. Russell Wilson gave the fluke performance last week, throwing the ball 60 yards down the field like 10 times, and just neighbors making plays. That won't happen against Trent McDuffie. Trayvon Diggs is not a good cornerback. That's just a fact.
Well, then he's not playing, so you don't have to worry about that.
Oh, who? McDuffie?
Oh, but he's saying last week.
Diggs.
He's saying last week he couldn't.
Last week.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think the headline on Monday morning is going to be back to what it was last week, and Jackson Dart should probably start for the Giants.
Okay.
I mean, Russ is so high on that feeling of airing that ball out. He is itching to do it.
I mean, it's fun to watch, but that is good. It is a terrible way to play football.
As far as both Monday morning headlines, it's going to be Chiefs narrow victory. People are still going to think they're dead for barely beating the Giants. And then next week is when the Chiefs kill a team. I don't even know who they have, but that's what I'm already predicting and taking.
Let's check right now. They have the Ravens the following week, so
never mind.
Still liking that prediction. Are the Chiefs going to be 0-4?
No.
That's a good question.
They are not losing to the New York Football Giants. It's not happening.
I don't know. I just love this outright win. I actually before we hopped on, I was looking at this line, and I already made an underdog parlay with the New York Football Giants as one of the.
Listen, I'm happy to wager with you straight up this money line game.
Well, no, I don't want to do that because I'm getting that's just.
Well, it sounds like you don't want the points.
Well, I already didn't take the points on a real bet.
So, are you taking the points here or not?
Well, in our match,
so you are.
In
so you do want the point. So you do want the point.
Yeah, in this format, I am taking the points. In real life, I will take the points, and then I will additionally take without the points.
Okay.
You really should only be betting underdogs if you think that they can win outright, and I do believe that the New York Giants can win outright.
That's a fair way to go about it, but it's lunacy in this scenario.
All right, well let's move on to the Detroit Lions as 4.5-point underdogs against the Baltimore Ravens, right in the middle of the Vegas zone. I will be taking the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens are a good football team. The Detroit Lions are a mediocre football team who got to play against a college football team last weekend, and that is the Chicago Bears. The Ravens are just an all-around great team. I don't see them losing this game at home to a mediocre Detroit offense, who, I mean, I know they scored a lot of points last week, but let's be honest, that Bears defense is kind of pathetic. And I just don't really, I'm still not taking this Detroit team seriously yet. So until they prove that they can beat a real good football team with coming off an emotional win last week against against Ben Johnson, I think this is going to be kind of a letdown spot for Detroit. Being like, oh, now we got to get up and go play the Baltimore Ravens who are going to be flying around the field. Give me the Ravens in a blowout.
I completely agree. Ravens still my Super Bowl pick. I think they're the best team in the league. I saw an ESPN power ranking that had them third behind both. One, they had Philly one, and then Buffalo. And I think the Ravens were dominant last week. I think they're going to be dominant against Detroit. Yeah, give me Ravens easy.
I'll be taking the Detroit Lions in this game.
Love it.
Knew that was coming.
Love it.
Coming.
I just, once again, it only took 1 week for people to forget that John Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson don't like winning close games. And this will be a close
Well,
game.
good thing this game's not going to be close.
Yeah.
It actually will be because neither defense will be able to stop the opposing offense. It'll be a high-scoring affair. And I just kind of trust Jared Goff in close games for whatever reason. Whenever they have must-make downs, they always seem to get it, and it is annoying as hell. But that's why I'm going to take the points here with the line.
Okay.
Jared
Okay.
Goff, known for his clutchess.
Let's rapid fire through a couple
Kinda
of our. Yeah. No, he's not.
No, he's
Let's
not.
let's rapid fire through our. Jared Goff. Remember that playoff game last year against the Commanders? He threw like 7 interceptions.
That's not what I'm talking about. That's a whole game of shitness.
He had to
I'm
be
talking
clutch.
about.
He had to
I'm
be
talking
clutch
about.
in that game when he was not clutch.
I'm talking about late in the game, which is what this game will come down to on Monday night. It's going to come down to a couple of possessions here and there, and Jared Goff and John Harbaugh will forget how to use his timeouts and all that.
All right. Let's rapid fire through a couple games. We'll flex. I will be taking the Texans +2 against the Jags. I think the Jags have more troubles in the locker room. I don't know if everyone's bought into the system yet. We saw Trevor Lawrence last week waving off Coach Duval down there. I don't think Travis Hunter's good. I think that trade is terrible. He might be okay he might be good eventually, but he's not. All right. I feel like I went too harsh. He's not He's not bad, but giving up a first round pick and using your second overall pick on a good wide receiver and a good cornerback, not really great at either, isn't really the way to go. So I'll be taking the Texans. I think that they are just going to be hungry and desperate for a win. They've played 2 really good teams, and the Jags are a mediocre team.
I like the pick. I don't agree with your sentiment about Coach Duval. I think Coach Duval's been pretty impressive, honestly, in the first couple of weeks. Last week was kind of a fluky loss. Week 1, great win against a Panthers team that obviously I respect. So with regards to my pick, I'll be taking the Buccaneers. I believe it's -7 against the Jets, who I don't think are going to have Justin Fields. Not sure who they're. Oh, it's Tyrod Taylor. That's who it is. It's Tyrod Taylor going down to Tampa. I think the Bucs win this one handily.
Noah Buka in that game, it looks like. He did not practice today.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. And their right guard is out for the year.
Doesn't matter.
Got it. Max?
I was debating between a lot of games, and I think I'm going to go with the Packers. Feels easy. Browns are so dead. I'll take the Packers -7.5. Don't
That
be
is
cute.
in Cleveland.
Is Flacco playing again?
I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds like it.
That's just dumb. What are they doing? I mean, honestly, it is ridiculous that he's still starting football games for any team, but the Browns, who have 2 rookies behind him waiting, there is no reason he should still be playing football, Joe Flacco.
Yeah. I 100% agree with you, especially because this is a last year anyway. Might as well develop a quarterback. Any other games we want to touch on? I think the Steelers-Patriots game might be interesting. I think this is a very telling game because I really don't know which of these teams. I kind of put them on the same tier, so I'm curious which one's going to be better, and I really don't know.
I was debating taking the Steelers for my pick. If they're at home, I for sure would have. I don't remember that game being on Red Zone a lot. I feel like I didn't see a single Steeler drive. On X.com, I did catch a couple Aaron Rodgers passes after the game.
X, everything app is all happening on X.
Yeah. And I looked like there were some drops by maybe a couple tight ends, wide receiver. Aaron looked to be maneuvering the pocket decently. So I think he's got a few more weeks in him to sling the ball, and this Patriots team is definitely one he'll be able to do that on.
I'm actually going to make a pivot real quick because I actually didn't realize that my pick for the Bucks was actually going to be made for a pick later in the show. My
Oh,
flex pick of the week
I was
is
about
the
to say I
Miami
switched it.
Dolphins. Miami
There we
Dolphins
go.
on the road, Thursday night
Plus
football.
13.
Give me those teal uniforms in Buffalo. They are due to have a performance. It's not snowing in Buffalo, and so therefore they will be able to perform on that field. I just think 13 is far too much for any football game in the NFL. And the Dolphins aren't hurt yet. They're not going to win the game. So your thought of only picking an underdog that you think can win, I am not going that way, but I am going to take the points.
Is there a better chance that the Dolphins win this game or Mike McDaniels is fired after this game?
I'm gonna say win the game. I think they could win. Now that I think about it, they could win this game. If fluky things happen, uh,
they're not winning, but he's not getting fired on the road. He'll get fired after a home game.
I'm just picturing like Tyreek Hill somehow having a long ass touchdown at some point. He's due for one of those. And A
Okay.
Chain, they're still healthy. Tua's gonna throw a pick or two, but we're gonna keep it inside the number.
Another interesting game this weekend is the Cardinals at the 49ers. I'm going to call this the Fraud Bowl. The 49ers are -3. Both these teams are 2-0. I don't believe in either of these teams. It's going to be kind of a joke that one of these teams is 3-0 after this week.
I know. Last week on the couch, I was saying to you, I wish I want to bet against both these teams to find out they're playing each other. So annoying, but
It's a disaster because now I don't really want to take either of them.
no, both frauds. I don't care what happens in it. Tuck, do you have any thoughts on that game?
No, I was gonna go to another game. If you have more thoughts, go ahead.
No, go
Well,
ahead. You go, Tom.
I really wanted to get Lewis's thoughts on his Cowboys against the Bears.
Oh, yeah. I think that this is a major, major trap line. Everything is telling you to take the Cowboys, which makes me a little bit nervous because I also love the Cowboys this week. But I don't know. Like, this just seems like a week where it's like the Cowboys have secondary issues. Can Caleb get into a little bit of a groove this week against a bad defense and maybe win in some fluky way? But if the Cowboys' offense plays well, I don't see how that's going to happen. So I would take the Cowboys, but I don't love it as much as I loved it in previous weeks.
Will this game be bet on?
By myself, yes.
Yeah. Yes.
It has to. It just has to.
I actually like the Bears in that game. Now that I think about it.
Okay.
The game
You
I
two
was
bet.
it.
Let's do a pod bet. You too.
All right,
All
sounds
right.
good.
For what?
I don't know.
Put this. Listeners
For,
comment
like,
what the
lunch.
loser has to do or winner gets.
to DoorDash a Davanese hoagie during the next
yes,
Following week.
during
That's
the
the-
next week of football. I think the loser pays for like a Davanese hoagie in the following week.
The other game that I considered for my flex play of the week was taking the Panthers against the Falcons.
I kind of think the Panthers have a shot in this game. They might have found
This-
something that second
You
half.
guys can't get away from this team.
I can't get away from the Panthers.
Listen, I will never get away from
This
this
is
Panthers
an
team.
upset week, by the way. I love a lot of upsets this week.
There's something about Dave Canales' calm demeanor on the sidelines that I just really like. What I saw from the Panthers against the Cardinals in the second half was impressive. They never gave up, never give up mentality, keep pounding. And the last time these two teams played, Bryce Young went off. I mean, he went off late in the year last year. It's what it is. It is partially what made me become a Bryce Young stan that game, and so they're running it back right now. And I don't care what the Falcons defense looked to get like against last week against JJ. Bryce Young isn't JJ, and so I like the Panthers.
Bryce Young. You'd rather have Bryce Young than JJ?
Right now, yes.
Oh,
All right, let's move on. We're gonna move on to Survivor. Tuck, you want to spin the wheel?
The wheel is on my phone, which I'm having to use right now.
Okay.
But I'll let Max. Why don't you go first?
Yeah, Max, why don't you just go first?
all right. Well,
For those of us,
Lewis,
for
you explain the
Survivor.
rules.
So for Survivor, Since John is already out of Survivor picking the Vikings last week, we're gonna tweak it a little bit.
I'm not sure people can tell based off my takes I've given.
It's just gonna be the best record of the year. That's gonna win Survivor. Kind of a lame way of doing it, but that just has to be done with 3 people in it. It's gonna be too hard anyway. So Max and I are still in, and you can't just pick the same team every week. So you still have to pick a different team. So Max, go ahead. You go first.
I will ride my pick of the week and just pick the Green Bay Packers. I'm getting my good teams out of the way.
Yeah.
I'll go. I know who Lewis is picking, and I'm not picking them. I'm going to be picking the Bucks, like I said earlier. I think they're going to win at home against the Jets.
Okay, and I think that the Seattle Seahawks take care of business against the New York Saints at home. Seattle's defense too good for the Rattler.
Did you see? Who's his face? Robert Sala's comments
Robert Saleh.
about Spencer Rattler and how he thinks he's just going to be a major household name by the end of this year because of all the talent he has. That is one of the most preposterous things I've heard.
Yeah, I mean that's just like kind of a thing that like defensive coaches and like opposing coaches like to do is like really pump up the other team.
Yes, you're right.
Like, that they're
you're
going
right.
to play, but
like PJ Fleck before they played Northwestern State a couple weeks ago, talking about how great of a team they are, and then they were up 60 rip at half.
Yeah,
just pointless.
It's a little ridiculous. Do you want to do Vikings 2 minutes talk?
Yeah, let's do 2 minutes on the Vikes. Obviously, JJ's out. Carson Wentz is in. How about I pose the question to you like this? Say Carson Wentz in the next 2 weeks goes out and throws for, in a hypothetical world, 303 tuds, both games, no interceptions. What are they doing when JJ comes back?
You hand JJ the keys to the car right back because it's just the same thing with Sam Darnold last year. Why would you stick yourself in that situation with Carson Wentz, who's not even as good as Sam Darnold? You'd rather develop. This roster's built for this quarterback to develop the way he is, and you're built in the wrong term. If you do hit a home run with a rookie quarterback on a rookie contract, that is the best way to win a Super Bowl. And we're here to win Super Bowls. We're not here to go winning record.
I agree. That face I just made. Sorry, Max. I'll let you go in a second. The face I just made was not that I wouldn't bring JJ back in. I completely agree. It was that you saying Sam Darnold is way better than Carson Wentz. Sam Darnold, prior to having Kevin O'Connell as a coach and playing for the Vikings, was not better than what Carson Wentz is thought of right now.
Fair.
And so who knows what Carson Wentz is with Kevin O'Connell as his coach and, Justin Jefferson as a receiver. Now, obviously, we have a bunch of injuries on the O-line, and Addison's not back yet, so there's a chance Wentz doesn't look as good. But, just something to think about.
Yeah. Vikings are throwing us a lot of question marks right now. I think I agree that no matter what Carson Wentz does, after the bye week, JJ's winning the job back, however you want to put it. After the bye, it'll be his team again. I think no matter what happens.
No, I agree. Yeah.
But it'll be interesting. What is their ceiling right now? I don't know.
I mean,
their ceiling was never the Super Bowl, so
let's
be honest.
They're in my Super Bowl. Broncos, Vikings.
Okay.
I didn't pick them to go to the Super Bowl. I picked the Bucks.
Sorry, but go ahead.
I before the season, I never knew what the ceiling was. I thought they would be good. I think I remember saying that even if JJ's bad, they're going to win. Like a bad JJ would be 7 games, an average JJ would be 9 games, a good JJ would be 11 plus, winning 11 plus games. And I said I didn't see a world where JJ would be bad because I thought the infrastructure was way too good. But if he is bad, which he hasn't looked good through 2 games, if this continues, I think we win 7 games. So I kind of stick by what I said.
2 games. You can't judge a rookie quarterback
What?
on 2 games.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying if that's the JJ we see for most of the year, I think we win 7 games. But I don't think that's the JJ we'll see.
And I think if this does continue, KOC's play calling has to come under some more scrutiny.
Yeah.
The lack of the ability
The run
to run
game.
the ball is so pathetic. I mean, they have no left side right now, but still. What was the stat about play action plays that we would last in the league?
I don't know. You're
Up
just
with an O-line.
rifling off a stat and just saying if
Yep.
we know it off the top of our head.
It's on X.
I do know that that Scooble or Scoogle, not whatever his
School.
name is, Schuylkill,
Tarek
has been the
Skubal?
lowest graded. Yeah, he's not the Detroit Tigers pitcher, but maybe the Detroit Tigers pitcher would be a better
better?
athlete than him because he can't be worse in terms of starting left tackles pressure rates.
Well, he's not
which
going
he
to play
is
this week at
last.
least.
It's pathetic.
Yeah, hopefully Darisaw's back. Hopefully these two new guys from the Colts we got step it up a little bit. And if our offensive line is healthy when JJ returns, I am not worried at all. I think
Me either.
that
Get
we'll
Kelly
be
back,
okay.
get Addison back, get Darisaw back.
What are your thoughts on Cam Akers for the third year in a row coming in midseason?
It's just kind of hilarious.
I love it. Cam and
I
Cam.
well, no, I
Nothing really
agree.
else to add. Like, he's like a serviceable back.
There's nothing else to
nervous.
say.
I'm nervous about Aaron Jones to a certain extent. I think he's one good for the locker room, but splits time decently well. I'm excited for Jordan Mason to be RB1, rightfully so, but I don't want to see Aaron Jones gone for an extended
No,
period of time.
Aaron Jones is better than Cam Akers, so we'd rather
Yes.
have him. But
I don't think we'll see a major difference with Aaron Jones in or Aaron Jones out. I think that might be a hot take, but I just don't think he's that good anymore. Especially running the ball. Running the ball, he is bad. It's
Wide
it's
receiver
catching the
three.
ball where he can, do some damage, but when he runs between the tackles, I either think he's going to get hurt or he just runs for, 3 or 4 yards, if that. So,
predictions for this weekend? They are
I think
3-point favorites.
honestly, I think it depends on who plays for us, and we don't really know who plays for us. I think if Van Ginkel's back, that'll make a huge difference. If Blake Cashman's not going to be back, right? He's on the
No,
is he
he's
on the
on
IR?
IR.
Yeah.
He is.
So I honestly think the Bengals might win.
Okay.
I don't think we're dropping two at home. This Bengals defense is pathetic. Even if we have to ride our defense to a victory, I don't see us losing.
Yeah, I'm optimistic about this game. I was not optimistic about last game, but I think that they can pull this one out. I won't be betting on it, but we'll see.
Hopefully you're right. Anything else?
I think that's it. Excited
All
to
right.
watch another week with you guys, and then we'll be talking Sunday evening.
Yes, and also NBA season's coming, and I
It
can't
is.
tell you how much the last few days, for whatever reason, it has clicked into my mind, and I am looking very much forward to that. And I think we'll have some NBA pods prior to the NBA season starting,
Yeah,
so I'm
that will
looking
be
forward to that.
primarily our fourth chair, Jack Borst and John Tucker,
That is correct.
leading that,
Yeah.
and then Max and I will come in and out or not be in at all.
I mean,
will
as
be
season
kind of a
ticket
rotating
holders-
third chair.
As season ticket holders, we're going to be dialed in, but
Yeah, I mean, like we're not going to be on every episode like we are for the NFL, though.
I'm gonna need you to know who all of our assistant coaches are. That's something as a season ticket holder must be in your brain.
I can name
And
one, and that's Mike and Nori.
Mike and Nori.
all right,
the
we're gonna
video
have to get
guy?
that up. We're gonna have to get that number up to from 1 to about 5 or 6 for me to respect your takes in the basketball world.
I've heard my brother blame games on random assistant coaches. So.
Well, he's blamed games on goddamn TV analysts, so he'll find just about anything to blame, and I'm looking forward to hearing those. All right, I think this was a good episode, longer episode than usual. We touched on a lot of things. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll be back Monday morning to recap what happens on Sunday. Everybody have a great weekend. Adios.